The congestion on the roads in the downtown area last weekend has sparked many complaints on social media. There were 4 major events taking place at the same time: the Standard Chartered Singapore Marathon, U2 Joshua Tree Tour, C3 Anime Festival Asia and Christmas Wonderland at Gardens by the Bay. Almost all the anger has been directed solely toward the marathon due to road closures and diversions. Organizer Ironman Asia has acknowledged it could have done better, but is not keen to move the race back to the morning. In fact, this is the first time that the marathon began at 6 p.m. rather than before dawn previously. Now we have Correspondent Sazali Abdul Aziz in the studio with us right now. Now Sazali wrote a commentary on striking a balance between showing Singapore's best and not stifling a vibrant city. First up, Saz, tell us, do you think the complaints were warranted?
Well, warranted or not, they were certainly expected by the organisers because, first of all, this being the first year the marathon is flagging off in the evening, there's bound to be, teething issues, some problems that they might not be able to address really quickly. Yeah. And plus, not everyone would have been kept up to date or might have, read the news or been able to see the public advisories that were put out in the weeks leading up to the events. Yeah. But having said that, organisers, did their best. They engaged stakeholders in the area that were affected, that would have been affected by the marathon for actually more than a year since the end of last year, and they tried their best to disseminate information through mainstream media, social media. The traffic police also put out an advisory a couple of days before the marathon itself. So it's not like they didn't try their best to try and mitigate for the crowds and stuff like that. But like I said, maybe mainly it was the first year of the event being held in the evening in this downtown city area. People are not used to it, people are not aware of it, and that's why so many problems occurred.
And so, from the looks of it, you mentioned there are a lot of logistical arrangements, a lot of pre-planning, and because it is the first time, it was organized as well, so teething issues and all that. Then do you think, was and is the hassle worth it? That this is a price to pay to be a global city? Yeah,
I think generally, analysts and those who sort of understand what it takes to bring a big sports event to this country, that's the general consensus. This is, there is some sacrifice involved, there is some inconvenience involved. It's hard to quantify the economic benefits of this move for the Standard Chartered Marathon to try and be a world marathon major. Comparisons have been drawn to Formula One, but that's different because Formula One, you have really household names like Lewis Hamilton, all this coming down. People specifically come into town for the race. Not
and
so much
concerts as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's so many facets to it. Not so much yet with the SCSM, but the idea is for it to become another world-class event on our calendar, and I think just the global prestige and the media reach, it's going to put Singapore on the map again, and sort of put it out there as a top nation for hosting such events. I think in terms of, like I said, it's hard to quantify the economic benefits, but if we look at the Tokyo Marathon, which is the first ever Tokyo International Marathon was in 1982, around the same time as the first Singapore Marathon, and it became a major in 2013, the newest major. It brings over 30 million Sing dollars to the Japanese economy. So I think that's what the organisers are hoping to do. They're trying to take the Standard Chartered Marathon forward, take it the next step, and make it into this big world-class event.
Right. And so, Saz, let's focus on the Singapore Marathon and it being, a world-class event on our calendar, like you say. What do you think then the organisers could have done better?
I think, in speaking to organisers, Ironman Asia, after the event, I think they were generally pleased with how the event was run. They admitted certain aspects of their handling of the event could have been done better. Specifically, a jam a traffic jam along Sentosa Vivo City area because the race route took runners to West Coast Highway. But the rest of the run went more or less smoothly, especially for the first year. I know some people were unhappy with the ushers or the marshals telling them, oh, you can only go this one way and you want to go another way, that kind of thing. But I think generally they were pleased, and although one thing, like I said, they tried their best to make announcements as much as possible on mainstream media, on social media, but maybe earlier announcements could have helped. People, some of the people affected were those who had events or weddings, for example, in the downtown city area. If you had given them maybe 2-3 months notice, they might have made different arrangements or made alternative plans. So perhaps maybe giving more heads up would be better.
Right. Whatever it is, of course, just we have next year to see how things go.
And like they say, ideally they want to hold it in the evening again. Over time, maybe Singaporeans will understand. Like now, taxi drivers know F1 period, don't enter the city. So
it'll be a normalized thing moving forward as well. Thank you so much, Saz, for that candid sharing. Certainly, for more on this, you can visit our website to read on the stories. Now there you have it, the top stories for today. For more news and videos, you can visit straitstimes.com. Once again, I'm Haryanto Diman. Tune in tomorrow for more stories on The Big Story.